get into some Lakers news and rumors. And there was some drama on Thursday night and on into Friday morning. I believe it's been mostly solved, but LeBron was nowhere to be seen the past couple of games for the Lakers, and Frank Vogel even threw out a weird quote of, "He's just not here." What's going on here with this situation?
I have absolutely no clue, and they're saying it's not because of the ankle issue, but I think it is because of the ankle issue, because he missed more than a month because of that high right ankle sprain that he suffered on March 20th, right? Came back a week ago today against the Sacramento Kings, then left Sunday's loss against the Toronto Raptors early and hasn't played since then. I think he's out because of that sore ankle. I think he's frustrated. Also, look, the LeBron detractors will say, "Oh, Kobe would never miss a game like this." Look, this is a different era in the NBA. I just think he might be a little mentally exhausted because they played deep into the season last year. He's dealt with some injuries this year. There's been a lot of social stuff going on, and we know that LeBron is very invested in all that stuff. Maybe he's just taking a break, but I have no idea, and it's not good news for the Lakers.
So Dave McMenamin confused all of us, but I think he cleared it up on this second tweet. We'll show this first one, though. Frank Vogel said LeBron's absence from the Lakers' past 2 games are not medically related. When asked about the reason James was not present, Vogel said he's just not here. Added that James was at shoot-around Thursday but will not join the team in Portland. And then McMenamin added this, LeBron James's absences from the Nuggets and Clippers games were considered excused by the Lakers to allow James time to, quote, stay off the ankle, dealing with that ankle injury, of course. A source with knowledge of the situation tells ESPN. I think it's weird that Vogel and whoever leaked that to McMenamin are not on the same page. Like, why not just say, hey, we didn't want him walking around the arena when he's dealing with an ankle injury? Seems a little weird.
Could be that, or it could be, Dave McMenamin's like, I'm looking at my Twitter feed. I haven't gotten a lot of retweets lately and some interaction on the Twitter sphere. Let me throw this out. Let's see what happens a little bit. But anyway, hey, tough times for the Lakers regardless, right? They have suffered so many injuries. They've had a lot of bad luck. AD, calf, Achilles strain, LeBron, ankle. They sign Andre Drummond. A lot of people were excited about that. He misses time because in his first game with the Lakers, he loses his big right toe. Dennis Schroeder out because of COVID protocols.
Not literally loses it, but
loses his toenail. He lost his toenail, not his toe. Sorry, clarification.
His toe's gone.
He's not Stubbs from Happy Gilmore. I apologize. But anyway, tough times for the Lakers. Hey, as long as they're somewhat healthy for the playoffs, I think they're going to be okay.
Shams threw this out here earlier today as we get back on track. Andre Drummond's toe has been located, folks. Sources tell me LeBron James is aiming to return to the Lakers lineup next week. I'm told the likely return scenario is Tuesday or Wednesday when the Lakers play the Knicks and Rockets at home. The Lakers and James won't rush his return from this sore right ankle. They'll make sure when he does return, he'll be as close to 100% as possible. So you kind of look forward here at the Lakers' upcoming stretch. You got Phoenix, you got the Knicks, you got the Rockets. That's the stretch where Sham says maybe you could expect to see LeBron there. And then the Pacers and Pelicans as we wind down the season. If it's me, I'm probably just bringing him back against the lowly Houston Rockets, get him some minutes against a team that has no motivation to win anyway, and then hopefully he can play those last 2 games as well.
Yeah, he needs to come back at some point to get acclimated and to get in shape in those next 5 games, in addition to tonight, Friday night's game against the Portland Trailblazers, which is crucial in the NBA play-in, NBA playoff race. I'm thinking he comes back against the Rockets, drops an easy 25, plays 30 minutes. That's what I'm thinking.
When will LeBron return to the court? Let us know what you guys think down in the comments. When will King James return? I'm going to say that Rockets game, but if you disagree, pick one of those other matchups and let us know right now. Anthony Davis, is he good to go? Well, I think so, Chase, but we'll talk about this one a little bit. Left the game against the Clippers on Thursday night, twisted his ankle, and then there was this weird thing, he's got back spasms going on. Luckily, he did speak after the game, says both feel okay, and that he should play on Friday night.
Look, AD is a generational talent. I said the other week, he's a borderline top 10 player. Some people ripped me. The reason why I said that is because it seems as though these types of nagging injuries always affect Anthony Davis, and it happened again last night against against the Brooklyn Nets. When he's on the floor, my guy especially, you saw what he did in the playoffs last year. You can make the argument he was the best player on the floor, and he was sharing the floor with LeBron James, right?
Yep.
But injury issues continue to crush him, and here's what he had to say about him ramping back and suffering that injury last night, which was back tightness, but he also ran into the scores table. Looked like he might have re-aggravated that leg injury during the timeouts. The first time out, the second time out, I kind of just felt it locking up more and more and more. It feels better now that I got some work done. I should be good to go tomorrow. That's tonight against the Trailblazers. I'm still going to wake it up and test it out, but my plan is to go tomorrow.
And as we film this, I just checked online to see if there's any new updates. No new updates as of now. So I would assume that AD gives it a go tonight. If that changes, we'll try to update you on that. But either way, he ain't 100%. LeBron's not 100%. They're probably not going to be 100%. LeBron claims he'll never be 100% ever again in his career, which, take that for what it's
Who
worth.
knows,
but good news is no major, re-aggravation from AD last night because he's missed a ton of games this year. And the back thing he said afterward, got some work done, felt like he was able to loosen that up quite a bit. Obviously, the goal here is for these guys to get healthy come playoff time when, it really ramps up. But as far as tonight's game goes, go ahead, get your votes in. Who you got? LAL for the Lakers, POR for the Portland Trailblazers. Who do you guys got in this Friday night matchup? This will be a fun one, a little Dame time versus Anthony Davis.
Yeah, and the Trailblazers are like 8.5 point favorites, somewhat surprising.
6 seed on the line, potentially.
Yes.
Same record.
Exactly
it's a huge
right.
game.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
LAL or POR. Get your votes in on that one. Go ahead and let us know what you guys think on this one. And you continue to say, the key here is health, right?
It is. Yeah, we were all together last night as a Chat Sports crew. We were slugging some brewskis at a beer garden. We saw AD suffer that injury, and we're like, oh, no, that cannot be good. Please let it not be serious. Look, I've said this all along. As long as you have LeBron and as long as you have AD and there's some semblance of health, I think the Lakers are going to be fine. And when those guys are on the floor together, you saw what they did last year. You even saw what they've been able to do this year in a limited sample size. LeBron James has only played 43 games. AD's only played 31. But Harrison, they're still putting up numbers. And if they're on the floor together, that's what they are capable of doing. And in a 7-game series, that right there, very dangerous.
Yeah, you could still argue, when fully healthy, this is the best duo in the league. That was on full display last year. It was on display in the playoffs. AD hasn't been quite as good this year when he has played. The numbers are a little deflated. Now, part of that is he's left early in several games, so that's just going to deflate your average there. But if these two guys can get healthy come playoff time, I think that would be a huge boost for this team. There's no reason why they can't make a run at another NBA final. So good news is Anthony Davis seems to be ready to go on Friday night. Let us know, predict, go into your crystal ball here. Will LA be healthy for the playoffs? Y for yes, in for no. Go ahead and get your votes in. Get subscribed to Chat Sports because, hey, I love the NBA. Chase loves the NBA. Perry, our newest member here at Chat Sports, he loves the NBA. It's his favorite sport by far. And hey, we're going to cover more of it for you guys down the stretch leading up into the playoffs. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV will keep you guys up to date on everything surrounding the National Basketball Association. Let's break down the Western Conference playoff picture here on Chat Sports. Harrison Graham and Chase Sr. with you. We'll show you the standings to kick things off. Jazz and Suns, they go back and forth at the top. I believe those will be your top 2 seeds in one of those order. Clipper Nuggets, those will be 3 through 4. And then it gets a little tight, Chase. You got the Mavericks at 38 and 28. You got the Lakers and Blazers right now evened up at 37 and 29 with LA having the tiebreaker. And then as you look at 8 through 10 there, especially 8 and 9, as you kind of differentiate those play-in type of teams, it gets really tight, especially for a team like Golden State, who's been battling all year long, led by Steph Curry.
If you just can't wait to get to the playoffs and you want a playoff-type atmosphere, I understand LeBron James is going to be out of the lineup tonight. Lakers at Blazers tonight in Portland.
Let's get it.
Lakers have the tiebreaker right now. That could change. Huge game in the West.
Pelicans and Kings still mathematically alive, but they're going to need some help and to win most of their remaining games. Thunder, T-Wolves, Rockets, they are all eliminated. They are tanking for the draft at this point in the season. So you look at the play-in tournament. Here's how we sit right now. So you got the Trailblazers, you got the Warriors, and specifically with Golden State, it's been a challenge all year. We kept expecting them to fade away, but they just keep finding ways to win some games, Chase. Steph Curry in a 1-game format to make the playoffs, I'm not betting against that guy.
Steph Curry and Dame Lillard in a one-game play-in, absolutely lit. And as we look at the Golden State Warriors and kind of evaluate them right now, 6-4 in their last 10 games. Most likely, Harrison, I'm thinking they're going to be the 8 or 9 seed. And the reason they've been able to float around 500 or a little bit over 500, Steph Curry has just been unbelievable this year. Without him, they would be like a G League level team.
But with Steph Curry,
look, he's not going to win the MVP. He might, in addition to Chris Paul, might be most deserving of MVP because of the elite level that he has played at this year.
And the way I kind of look at it, and by the way, I totally agree, Warriors-Lakers, which is not out of the question for the play-in, would be unbelievable. But more on Curry as well is, I mean, I look at MVP, how many games would your team win without this guy? I mean,
yeah, I'm with you.
I don't know how many, but I'm excited about the potential of this play-in matchup between Steph Curry and LeBron James.
Yeah, just imagine if LeBron James is back healthy, AD is all good with the back and the ankle injury. A play-in game between the Warriors and the Lakers would be electric.
Oh, no
It'd be great for the NBA. It'd be great for fans. It'd be great for people like you and I to be able to do a watch party on our Chat Sports channel, but also to watch it because LeBron, Steph going back and forth, not only in that play-in game, but you think about the history between these two teams with those Cavs and Warriors finals matchups.
No doubt.
I'm all for a matchup like that. I think it'd be epic.
So answer this question for us. Will the Warriors get one of the final 2 playoff spots? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Get your votes in on this one. Will Golden State be one of the top 8 seeds after the play-in tournament? Subscribe to us here at Chat Sports. It's youtube.com/chatsportstv. Our NBA coverage is starting to ramp back up now that the NFL draft is back in the books. Live shows every Friday. You'll see Chase, myself, sometimes both of us like you have today. And plus, with the playoffs almost here, some watch parties on deck, so stay tuned for those. If you want the latest NBA news, rumors, trades, free agency, offseason, playoffs, this is your place, youtube.com/chatsportstv. We take a look here, Chase, at the Western Conference playoff bracket, and we kind of showed you guys the play-in aspect of this. What really stands out here? I think Denver, Dallas, for a couple of reasons. A, Denver keeps winning without Murray. Can that continue into the playoffs? And B, we saw last night Dallas beat a Brooklyn team without Kristaps Porzingis. They're 7-3 in their last 10 games, but those 3 losses all to Sacramento. Which Dallas team's going to show up in the playoffs? What stands out to you in that bracket?
It's that because we're not sure which Dallas Mavericks team we're going to get. Also,
all LA.
It's the Jazz being able to survive and stay afloat without Donovan Mitchell, but the Denver Nuggets doing the same without Jamal Murray. And how about the Phoenix Suns? Like the Jazz, the Suns, and the Nuggets, when everybody kind of thought either prior to the season or during the season, they're fake, they're phonies. They've been able to play really good basketball and sustain that all season. That's what stands out to me in addition to the Mavericks.
Let's talk about the Jazz here because they've been able to be really the number 1 seed since about the 1-month mark of the regular season.
Exactly right.
They got hot early in the year, and they really haven't given it up. And we were breaking down the Donovan Mitchell injury a few weeks ago, and we were like, oh, hopefully it's not too bad. Well, he hasn't played since then, and they're still the number 1 seed.
Yeah, and there's no status as to when Donovan Mitchell is going to come back. Nope. So for me, Utah's success all hinges on D-Mitch, who's turned into one of the most lethal young scorers across the NBA. If they do get the number 1 seed, who knows what the fan situation is? I think Utah, the state, a little bit more lenient than other states. Not much of a surprise there. They're 29-4 at home.
Whew,
so if they get
difference.
that number 1 seed, that's something to keep an eye out for. My big concern with the Utah Jazz, they're going to be able to get past the heavyweights in the West because there are some big heavyweights.
And another one is Phoenix, right?
Yep.
I mean, sure, smaller market, but I think the Chris Paul factor here is like I view them as like a Lakers in the Western Conference this year because you've got CP3. Devin Booker's probably better suited as a number 2 at this point in his career. Ayton continues to develop. Bridges is a nice piece. This is a nice roster, and they found the right coach in Monty Williams, in my opinion. I may like the Phoenix Suns better than Utah come playoff time.
You saw this greatness blossoming in the NBA bubble last year when they went a perfect 8-0 and really took the league by storm. Didn't make the playoffs, but generated some conversation. I think Phoenix has it all, and this is my take real quick on the Chris Paul effect. and I'm going to continue to hammer down on this. I mean, he's done for the Phoenix Suns what Tom Brady has done for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Has completely changed the culture, and you see that in the eyes and the competition level and the confidence of the Suns.
So Phoenix and Utah, not teams that we would be normally accustomed to making deep playoff runs, but hey, it's 2021. Things are weird. Type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. Can one of these smaller market teams make the finals? I think we're in agreement. They absolutely can. Will they? That's the question that we can't wait to find out. So go ahead and get your votes in. So you look closer at some of these other matchups. Again, the Jazz will play one of those play-in teams, combination of Golden State, Memphis, Portland, or LA. If one of those teams fall into that situation, we'll have to wait and see. We mentioned Denver, Dallas. I think that could be a 6-7 game banger in the playoffs. We'll have to wait and see. And then obviously the all-LA matchup, right? We'll spend a couple moments here on the Lakers and the Clippers. As things sit right now, this would be the 3 versus 6 matchup. This is very interesting because coming into the year, you would say this is your conference finals. They might play in the first round due to injuries with the Lakers.
Yeah, there are playoff demons flying in the rafters of the Staples Center for the Los Angeles Clippers. Not for the Lakers. They won the ship last year. They have 17 titles as a franchise. But the Clippers just haven't been able to get over the hump. And last year, it was a really ugly out in the NBA playoffs. They were up 3-1 in that series, and they couldn't close the deal. So that mentality, those memories, do they continue to haunt the Clippers against the team that's had their numbers and owns Los Angeles? Possibly. I don't think LeBron – can you imagine LeBron James going out in the first round of a playoff series?
Be weird.
Yeah.
Be very, very weird. So get your votes in come playoff time. Who is the better LA team? Type LAL for the Lakers or type LAC for the Clippers.